Joining us now from Des Moines is Democratic presidential candidate and Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders. Senator Sanders, I want to ask you, pick up right where we left off last night. You mentioned that climate change, in fact, is related to terrorism. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Well, that's not only my observation, John. That is what the CIA and the Department of Defense tells us. And the reason is pretty obvious. If we are going to see an increase in drought and flooding and extreme weather disturbances as a result of climate change, what that means is that peoples all over the world are going to be fighting over limited natural resources. If there is not enough water, if there is not enough land to grow your crops, then you're going to see migrations of people fighting over land that will sustain them. And that will lead to international conflict. So I think when we talk about all of the possible ravages of climate change, which to my mind is just a huge planetary crisis, increased international conflict is one of the issues that we have got to appreciate will happen.
But how does drought connect with attacks by ISIS in the middle of Paris?
Well, what happens, say, in Syria, for example, and there's some thought about this, is that when you have drought, when people can't grow their crops, they're going to migrate into cities. And when people migrate into cities and they don't have jobs, there's going to be a lot more instability, a lot more unemployment, and people will be subject to the types of propaganda that Al Qaeda and ISIS are using right now. So where you have discontent, where you have instability, that's where problems arise. And certainly, without a doubt, climate change will lead to that.